Good day, everyone, and welcome to the 12th session of UP Manila SILab webinar series IOL 2025. I am Gabi Velasquez, and I will be your host for today's session. So just a brief overview. So at UPM SILab, our mission is to achieve universal health coverage through digital health capacity building in the Philippines. That's why we bring you our weekly webinar series, the IOL 2025. And if you're wondering why it's 201 on your screen, so our webinar actually have two sub-series. So we have the IOL 101, which focuses on foundational knowledge from local and global experts on certain digital health topics. So while this 201 Community Connect, so we feature here experts from our COP or Community of Practice members through these community-led sessions. Right, and so today we're back with our second community-led webinar session, and I welcome you all to IOL 201 Community Connect. I hope everyone is excited to learn, share, and connect with fellow members of our COP. And as always, we're grateful to our partners, CSIRO Australia through the SSCP project or the Strengthening Standards Capability Project, and the DOST PCHRD for always supporting our webinar series. Okay. And speaking of COP, we are inviting new friends and colleagues to please join UPM SILab's Community of Practice, which is a group of experts and practitioners all passionate about advancing standards and interoperability in healthcare. So you may sign up to receive our newsletter and join our WhatsApp group, or you can scan the QR code flashed on your screen. So everyone is welcome. Please join the group and receive updates from UPM SILab. We'll be pasting the link shortly also if you're not able to scan the QR code. And during our first Community Connect, we were able to discuss practical challenges and solutions to achieving health interoperability among different health facilities within the LGU. So we were graced by Sir Pei Canla's presence, the Executive Director of Wireless Access for Health. He's a very active community member where he highlighted the vital role of good governance in establishing integrated and interoperable health systems while being sensitive, of course, to the existing culture of the LGU or the community. And so for today, for our second Community Connect series, I am very excited to welcome you all as we explore this proof of concept stage referral tracking system, which is built using a FHIR server, so in their case, the Aidbox platform, which is designed to enhance care coordination within the Philippine UHC framework. So this presentation will outline the current fragmented state of referral systems and hopefully to propose an interoperable solution which is aligned to the DOH's National Health Data Repository guidelines. So we hope this solution will significantly improve care coordination and make a positive impact in our healthcare landscape here in the Philippines. Again, thank you all for joining us this morning, and we look forward to an engaging and informative session with all of you. Okay. So, but before we proceed with our session, just a quick rundown of the house rules. So the session is already being recorded, and by proceeding, you are consenting to be recorded. So I request everyone to kindly stay muted throughout the lecture. We encourage to please change your name for proper identification and add your affiliation for proper recognition. And later, there will be a Q&A portion after the lecture. So you have three options. You may use the raise hand function. You may type in your questions in the chat box. Or if you want to ask anonymously, you may use the Q&A button. And lastly, do not leave the session after the Q&A. We'll be having our group photo, and I will be flashing the QR code for you to receive your electronic certificates of participation and answer the evaluation form. All right. So these are just a few criteria for the issuance of your electronic certificates, which are already sent to your emails. So now, while the majority of our attendees are regular participants, of course, we are seeing increasing number of new registrants for our weekly webinar series. So I kindly request everyone to quickly scan the QR code or go to menti.com and use the code 51482523. Let's just have a very quick icebreaker before we start the session. Again, that's 51482523. All right. So can I get any reacts from the group if you're already in the Menti platform? So let me just switch my screen. It's just gonna be a very quick Menti questions today. So first question, how are you all feeling today? So we have a fire emoji. Thank you for that. Very witty. So excited. So we have sleepy and hungry participants. Oh no, feel free to have your snacks or coffee during this session. So full after breakfast. Great. Okay, good. Excited, amazing, fresh, exhausted. No, it's still morning. Well, morning here in the Philippines. And okay, happy. Again, if you're not yet part of the Menti, please scan the QR code on the screen or use the code 51482523. So we have 23 responses in, going 24. Thank you so much for joining this early quick icebreaker. So ayan. All right. I think majority really are hungry, so you guys can have your snacks. No worries. Okay, fired up? Yes. We'll be hearing from a renowned company that uses FHIR platform. So later we'll be hearing more about Aidbox and FHIR servers. Yeah. Fired up, fired up. All right, next question. So tell us your field of expertise, profession, or affiliation, just to get a quick grasp of our audience today. You may also add your country if you're not from the Philippines. So I'm seeing we have participants from Australia, Laos, and I think Sri Lanka maybe. So we have nurses, students, medical doctors, medtechs, researchers. So we actually have quite a number of participants from Bulacan State University. So that's Bulsut over there in the word cloud. Yeah, so we have software developers as well. So it's a mix again of technical and clinicians, technical and clinical people in the group. Okay, so that's awesome. Any other answers? So majority really are students, nurses, and physicians. Okay, great. So we have IT personnel, software developers, what else? Health tech, medical officers. We have from Zamboanga City. Thank you for joining us today. eHealth. All right. Okay, so on to our last slide. So on a scale of 1 to 5, how excited are you for today's session? So 1 being the lowest, 5 being the highest. You can also tell us what's your level of experience in using a FHIR server. Were you able to set up one, or you're not yet familiar with FHIR servers, and you wanted to learn about FHIR servers today? And of course, last question, how likely are you to join our next community-led sessions? So thank you all for joining our short Menti. And for today, may I introduce our speakers for this session of IOL 201. Yes, it's the first time we actually have two speakers who will share their expertise with us. So today is quite jam-packed. So now it is my great pleasure to introduce our first speaker to you. So we have Mr. Noel del Castillo, the founder and CEO of SeeYouDoc Corporation, which is a Philippine-based health tech company delivering innovative digital solutions to healthcare providers. He is also a senior lecturer at UP Diliman, teaching technology-based entrepreneurship under the Master of Technology Management program. And with a strong background in software development and startup leadership, he led the creation of award-winning technologies, including the patented SeeYouDoc platform that won actually a gold medal at the 50th Geneva IEIG, or the International Exhibition of Inventions, just this April 2025. Grabe, very, I know, parang yesterday lang, ganun. So the award recognizes their innovative a system and method for managing healthcare services and networks, which integrates telemedicine, scheduling, e-prescriptions, and payments, which overall improves healthcare access and management. So he is passionate about leveraging interoperability and AI to transform healthcare systems, particularly in the context of the Philippines' UHC goals. And now our second speaker, this is a surprise to me as well, but I'm very honored to introduce a seasoned leader in healthcare IT. So we have Sir Pavel Smirnov, the CEO himself of Health Samurai. where he brings over 2 decades of experience to the table. And since 2012, he has been instrumental in guiding Health Samurai to the forefront of FHIR adoption in real-world applications. So his vision led to the creation of Aidbox, which is actually the first commercial FHIR backend platform in the US, which is now utilized by healthcare organizations globally. And driven by a commitment to progress, Sir Pavel actively supports government and healthcare entities in their journey towards modern, standards-based digital health infrastructure. Okay, so now to present referral tracking system at POC stage using FHIR Server, let us virtually welcome Mr. Noel del Castillo and Sir Pavel Smirnov. So let me just welcome first Sir Noel. Sir, kudos po to the award. Good morning.
All right. Hi, everyone. So nice to meet you. So thank you for inviting me here. I'm Noel del Castillo. There you go. Can you see it?
There. Yes, we can see your screen, sir, and we can hear you clearly po.
All right. Okay. I think we're good. So good morning, everyone. Hi, I'm Noel del Castillo from SeeYouDoc. And it's an honor for me to be here and to provide my and with me and with Pavel as well to share our knowledge about the referral tracking system using Aidbox FHIR Server. So let me start. Uh, So for today, our outline for our talk is for my side, I'll just explain about who I am, what our company do, why are we here, what's the current landscape, what's the problem, what's the solution that we are proposing, and how it's going to be availed by the healthcare provider network, the PCPN, the DOH, and how to use RTS. And then for EMR system vendors here, we also have a solution for you in how to convert your EMR data to FHIR data. And then after that, Pavel will do his talk, and then after that, we're gonna have some key takeaways and then Q&A. Okay. So about me, so I'm Noel. So recently we just won the gold medal in the 50th Geneva International Exhibitions of Invention. For the patented SeeYouDoc platform. So we're very honored to have that award. But basically me, I'm the founder and CEO of SeeYouDoc. So we've been around since 2018. So during the pandemic, we were one of the DOH partners who onboarded a lot of doctors in providing uh, telemedicine services. But some of them, and actually most of them, provided free telemedicine services in partnership with DOH. But so with this year we're still been active and growing. So it's a good thing that we're now part of the UP SILab, wherein we are sharing also our experiences and thoughts and trying to really build up the community. So I'm also a senior lecturer in UP Diliman teaching technology-based entrepreneurship in the Masters in Technology Management course. So about SeeYouDoc, so it's a Philippine-based health tech developer focused on creating integrated and secure platform that bridges the gap between healthcare professionals and those in need of care. So here we have the SeeYouDoc platform, which is basically used for as a marketplace for healthcare services for patients. We also have developed a AI-powered modular hospital information management system called Liana. um, so this is an on-premise setup. So this is where the hospital owns their own data, and then we can install it into whether on their server, or whether they prefer to be in the cloud. So we can also do that. The reason why we built this is a new product, but the reason why we built this because some of our hospital customers um, requested us to do this. So this is really to help them digitize their operations. But the good thing is we have used AI wherein we have launched an AI scribe. This allows the AI to listen to the conversation between the doctor and the patient. And then after listening, it will transcribe the audio recording and generate the SOAP notes, prescriptions, referral requests, lab requests, diagnosis requests, therapy requests, even medical certificate. But those are just the suggested data. So it will be reviewed by the doctor for them to edit and modify. But the good thing, those data already has um, ICD codes, because this is very important for PhilHealth claims. So the doctor can decide which one is good enough, and then they can print it and then send it to the patient. We also have a product called Leon Fire, which is I'm gonna showcase later. But the reason why we built this because we saw a gap in terms of how we can help other EMR vendors try to convert their EMR data through Fire data, so they don't have to re-architect their database. So using AI, we are able to come up with a solution wherein you just pass on whatever EMR data format you have, then we will transform that into the Fire bundle resources that is needed for you to send those data to the HU7 Fire server. So in this scenario, a Fire server can be a Happy Fire or an Aidbox Fire server. And then lastly, the Nash RTS, which is just again a new product that we built because of this opportunity and uh, we also saw a gap wherein we kind of need a different application on top of a Fire server that will allow us to connect other EMR systems in terms of the referral use case. So later I'll explain that as well. Okay, so why are we here? We're here because of the fruits of the digital health interoperability bootcamp, which we attended, I guess, a few months ago. Wherein that's the event where I learned about Aidbox. A good thing that Health Samurai were present in that event. And then we were able to come up with a proof of concept of some how we convert the forms to and store it to 8 bucks and then view it via Metabase Analytics. So because of that, I was kind of confident that we can come up with a proposal in terms of how we can use this for the referral tracking system for universal healthcare. That's why Doc Eloy requested me to draft an article about this, which is I posted in our chat group. So we have a blog article about how to integrate Inbox as an EMR provider, wherein there's a use case and this is very technical. So you can so for the developers out here, you can follow it through. You can install it. You can get the API keys and then follow the guidelines in terms of how you're going to pass your data via REST API. So that's why after that, I was invited to do a talk here now just to kind of like expand on this concept. And my goal is to provide the community solution in addressing the problems in terms of the referral tracking system. Okay, so let's define the terms first before I move forward. So when I say RTS, this is a referral tracking system. UHC, it is a universal healthcare. POC is a proof of concept. LGUs is local government units. HCPN, this is a healthcare provider networks. PCPN, this is a primary care provider networks. NHDR, this is a National Health Data Repository. SLA, Service Level Agreement, and then SHF, this is a Special Health Fund. So when I mention healthcare provider, these are organizations that provides healthcare services. And then when I mention healthcare platform or system provider, these are organizations like us and Health Samurai that provides the tools for the healthcare providers. Okay. So what's the current landscape of the healthcare provider network and PCPNs or primary care provider network in the Philippines? So currently we have 49 HCPNs qualified for contracting. So meaning this has been vetted by DOH and PhilHealth and they are allowed to use the special health fund, uh, which is in total, it's more than 400 million pesos annually for capital investment. So the capital investment, this is the allotted budget that they can use to purchase equipments, devices, and systems like EMR systems, RTS, Fire server. So yeah, so there's a budget allocated for the government, and it is not being used yet. Well, it is being used in some form, but it's not being maximized. So that's why we're here. We're kind of like um, helping them to figure out what solutions to use so that they can appropriate the funds that has been allotted to them. And then this particular fund was computed based on certain population. So if you reach 1 million population, you'll be allotted 34 million pesos times 30% of that is the capital investment. Then we also have primary care provider network or sandbox sites under the PhilHealth Consulta package. So there's both public and private companies here. And then what they do is they are able to tap on the PhilHealth Consulta package, which is the PhilHealth allows them to pay on behalf of the They pay the doctors the primary care services that they provide to the patients. So they can also uh, be the target customers for the RTS system. So let me explain the goals of UAC for HCPN. So as an HCPN, which are the central implementation of UAC in a coordinated and accountable manner encompasses a wide spectrum of care providers within a geographic area. So it's an integrated service delivery which ensures that healthcare services across primary, secondary, and tertiary levels are coordinated. This creates a seamless experience for patients, reduces service duplications, and ensures equitable resource distribution. We also have health monitoring, enables macro-level insights into public health through integrated data systems, which provides them policies, identify disease outbreaks, and support preventive measures. And lastly, efficiency in resource allocation. So by organizing facilities into networks, HCPNs optimizes the distribution of doctors, specialists, diagnostics, and facility capabilities to avoid bottlenecks and underutilization. What's the goal for the PCPN? So for PCPN serves as the foundation of the healthcare access and are responsible for ensuring that individuals and communities receive basic preventive and continuous care. So number one is they should be able to have the accessible to primary care wherein every Filipino is guaranteed a primary care provider. A PCPNs are structured to cover communities comprehensively, ensuring no one is left without a provider. Then there are also a gatekeeping function. They serve as the entry point into a broader healthcare system. They triage and refer patients appropriately, ensuring that specialized services are reserved for those who truly need them. And lastly, health promotion and preventive outreach. From immunization drives to chronic disease management, PCPNs conduct community-focused health programs that reduce disease burdens over the long term. So why RTS is important in UAC? So for HCPNs, it ensures continuity of care by linking primary providers with higher level facilities in a traceable manner. It allows the city health officers and network managers to monitor patient outcomes, improve case resolutions, and reduce drop-offs in care transitions. Prevents patients from being lost in the system and increases treatment completion rates, especially for chronic and complex cases like TB. And facilitates timely reimbursements and accountability since every patient movement is recorded and visible to funders like PhilHealth and oversight agencies. For PCPNs, they can follow up on specialist consultations, lab tests, or hospitalizations. They can be able to track whether the patient received appropriate care and whether a feedback loop has been completed. And it ensures that the patients return to their primary provider for continued management after specialized care. So what's the current landscape now of RTS? So there has been some development naman in our country in terms of the development RTS. So one of them is the National Patient Navigation and Referral System or NPNRS, which was developed on July 2021 and launched the NPNRS expands upon the One Hospital Command Center initiative, which was initially established to coordinate COVID-19 patient referrals. The NPNRS serves as a centralized system that connects hospitals, health facilities, telehealth providers, local government units, and national agencies. Its primary objective is to facilitate immediate and quality health services by streaming communication coordination across various health entities. Another initiative was the STAHR initiative, or Strengthening Technology Use for Improved Access to Health and Referral. So it's a web-based electronic referral solution developed through a collaboration between Novartis Healthcare Philippines, Rizal Medical Center, and Thinking Machines Data Science. It supports the implementation of the healthcare provider network by integrating facilities, service, and human resource database across various health facilities. These AI-based solutions enhance patient outcomes by increasing the number of referrals processed and accepted, improving referral response rates, and expediting the referral process. So this is a collaboration between the private sector and government. Then we also have from Bataan, so the BGHMC's online referral system implemented an HCPN online referral system that streamlines the patient referral process through a two-way mechanism. This system empowers primary health care facilities to as gatekeepers, ensuring patients receive appropriate care and reducing congestions in higher level facilities. And also, in our case as well, we also have a referral system wherein we implemented in Parañaque City. It's in a digital health initiative aimed to enhancing the tuberculosis or TB care coordination. This is developed in collaboration with Parañaque City Health Office and funded by USAID, wherein the system offers a comprehensive digital TB cascade of care. It facilitates efficient patient referrals, triage, and communication among healthcare providers, ensuring timely and coordinated TB management within the city healthcare network. Patient can enroll in the TB program through the SeeYouDoc platform, accessing customized care plans and services. So, we have all of these projects and initiatives, but the problem is we have a fragmented referral system. Referral systems have been developed independently, leading to a fragmented landscape. Each systems employ its own data standards and workflows, hindering seamless communications and data exchange across platform. Another one is a lack of centralized data and analytics. So DOH struggles to collect and analyze referral data in a standardized format due to the disparate nature of existing system. And then lastly, accessibility barriers for HCPNs. So many HCPNs, especially those in resource-limited settings, find it challenging to acquire and implement referral systems because of high cost, technical complexities, and the need for specialized training deter adoption. So the solution here is that we have to develop an interoperable referral tracking system, and ideally should adopt the NHDR FHIR guidelines, which has already been in the works now by PhilHealth and UP SILab and other groups that already have a localized resource standards that adopts the FHIR resources as well. Then it should have its own authorization capabilities so that it can invite EMR systems to connect to it and provide API keys for secure connections, configure webhooks endpoints for referrals and notifications, and then provide the API docs for pushing referral data. It should be able to have a centralized analytics platform, so custom queries and dashboards per HCPN can be done, generation reports, and integrated with the DOH analytics platform. And ideally, if it should be have a bundled product of services so that when HCPN acquire this kind of technology, they will be able to have some guarantees in terms of 24 by 7 uptime, a guaranteed SLA. There's a data privacy and security compliancy. There's a package of support and training, continuing enhancement of product features, flexible pricing per number of appellation. So if you think of it in a macro level view, what we're doing really in the past few years is that everybody's building a computer. So we have EMR system like a computer whose purpose is to interact with the user. But it's not built for connection. So the solution is we need to have a router. Yeah, in order for us to connect other EMR systems. And that's the missing part we're trying to do here. Where in the EMR system, like a computer, needs to have a router that will be able to connect everyone. That's why we're here. Me from SeeYouDoc and from our partners in Health Samurai, we have a solution for you. So we have built Nash RTS and we in integration with Aidbox FHIR Server. That is already an interoperable RTS with FHIR Server and analytics platform. And the HCPN can have their own data, and then it includes on-premise and cloud-based setup, which also have 24 by 7 uptime with guaranteed SLA. And our company is PhilJEPS accredited, so we can have direct contracting with government. So we can package all of our services together with Health Summarized products. And since as mentioned a while ago, we kind of had that award with Geneva, so we're kind of being promoted now by the OST to be to be marketed. At the same time, the HCPN also needs to allocate budget, but as mentioned a while ago, there's a budget for you here using the special health fund for to scope out the licenses and support services, infrastructure and server capacity, and then the deployment models and local integration needed. But for planning purposes, you may allot more than 1 million pesos per year for you to really acquire this whole package of services and technologies. For DOH, similar concept. The good thing about the solutions that we can provide is that the RTS can already be in sync with other RTS. So if DOH will also would like to acquire this product and technologies, we can do that, and then all HCPN RTS can be integrated to the DOH RTS. And that will now enable them to have this centralized analytics, which is the end goal intentions anyway. So how to use the RTS? So in this example, so I won't be very technical here because I have very limited time, but we have converted the adult sepsis referral form. Also big shout out to Aliyah for sharing this one. So they have this is like the paper form that the DOH are using for referrals. So for EMR vendors out there, the use case here is that you digitize this form, right, and then store it into your EMR system. But once an HCPN is using an RTS, the HCPN now can invite you, the EMR system providers, as a new organization, and then you'll be able to have you'll receive an email to access your account within the HCPN RTS. Now, once you log in to the RTS, you can generate your API key, then use that for your basically for all API calls, right? You add it to your X API key header. And then this is just a draft summary of the API endpoints. Here you can just call the get/facilities, which allows you to release all facilities within the RTS. Post facility allows you to create the new facility under the EMR system. So this is very important because you need to for an EMR vendor, if you're catering to particular hospital, you need to add them to the RTS so that our other EMR vendors can refer to it. And then it's very important that you add them there so that it will be tagged that you are the EMR vendor that's managing that particular facility. And then within the facility, you can list all of the doctors so that in the referral form, also have to specify which particular doctor and what is the specialty of the doctor. You can get that from the RTS. And then once you have those information, you can now post the refer patient. And then in the refer patient, the patient, uh, the message here that you have to pass is the bundled fire resource service request person. So I'm trying. I still have time, so maybe uh later na lang. So during the Q&A, I can show you a JSON file or what's this look like because I'm trying to catch up with my time for now. Then if you guys will ask me what's the JSON file, I'll share it to you. So let me move forward na muna. Um After integrating with the RTS, so as an EMR vendor, you have to integrate to the RTS. The good thing is that if if you're integrated with say with one HCPN RTS and they're using our product solutions and some HCPN is also using the same RTS, then it's the same concept, so you don't need to redevelop stuff. For the ECPN side naman, they have to configure the webhook notifications. Actually, for the EMR providers, they have to specify the URL that will receive the webhook notifications from the RTS. So what will happen here is that if there's any use cases or scenarios wherein you'll receive a referral from a different EMR vendor, you should be able to configure your system that is basically it has to be cloud based because it has to be available online to receive that notification. And then this is just one endpoint, so there's different types. So every type has its own type of messages. So one of it like receive referral, This is where you get a referral request, request the patient data. So meaning for patient info history, you can also get that, and then accept patient data if you're going to, let's say, accept a new patient coming from a different EMR vendor. So this again a Firebase data. So I have a sample JSON file in a link, but I'll show it to you later during Q&A na lang. Then configure data sync with DOH RTS as HCPN. So from the HCPN side, if for example DOH will purchase the RTS, then they will now be able to have a unique link, and then they will generate the API keys that for HCPNs to connect to the DOH RTS. And then that API key will be used by the HCPN RTS and then configure it to the sync link. So that will allow them to configure the syncing of the FHIR server data to the DOH FHIR server. And then once that's done, then the DOH FHIR server will can generate their analytics, and the HCPN can also generate their own analytics. Like so, in this example, we have like a dashboard for referral, wherein the total referrals, completion rate, average completion time, active referrals. We have the referral volume over time, the referral status distribution, the completion time distribution, etc., etc. So, depending on what you want to see, you can visualize that. Okay, so the question now is for the EMR system vendors here. So how can we convert our data to FHIR resource? So the good thing is that we can help you. Uh, so in SeeYouDoc, we've developed a product called Leon Fire, wherein you can sign up and use Leon Fire. Just let me know if you're interested. This will allow you to easily pass Fire data to an NHDR fire, using the NHDR Fire guidelines to the Fire server. What will happen there is will provide you the API docs and how you can pass your API. Then you'll just mention what are the templates you want. So for example, for the referral fire resource bundle, following the NHDR, you can do that. So in this scenario, we have, you know what? I'll just share it because can you see my screen? By the way,
Yes, sir. We can
so
still
you can
see
see
your
the
screen.
GitHub side.
Yes. Oh,
Okay, good. um, So where am I? So I'm in this part. So the initiating EMR. So they have this paper form. The paper form basically will have a raw JSON data. Um, so this is the raw JSON data. So here we have like this is not following the Fire server. This is just a sample JSON file that is based on the paper form. So I'm sure I would assume that some of your EMR vendors here would kind of like be able to parse this JSON data. So we have the who's the initiating facility, who will be the facility that it will be referred to, the details of the patient. That's it. And then um, you pass it to Leonfire, and then Leonfire will provide you with the Fire JSON request. So what will happen here is that uh yeah, it will convert into, so if you go to this link, so it's a GitHub naman, so it's you can access it. So we have the fire data, which is the request. So this is like the sample JSON format of the fire data. So we're using bundled fire resource type, and then it already parses the service request, which is the one that we are using for referrals. And then, so all of the coding is there. Um, and then we have uh, patient resource type as well here. Um, so imagine, I would assume that it's going to be difficult for some of you to do this in your system. So that's why, if you're interested, we can help you in terms of how to convert your data to Fire data. So this is like the whole thing that you have to pass. And then once you pass it, so here, so for example, I already passed one resource data. It'll be stored to Aidbox FHIR Server. So this is like the sample of it. This is the data. of the file that was stored. So this is already in the FHIR server. And then it will allow you to receive a response. So the response is, again, this is a FHIR bundle response. So this particular response will be sent to the receiving EMR. So for example, there's two EMR vendors. The other EMR vendor has already configured their webhook notification. They will now receive this JSON data, which is again in a FHIR resource data. So they have to be able to parse it in order to consume the data. Um, so they can consume it on their own. They can figure it out. They can develop it, or if they want, they can also use Leonfire to just help them on the conversion side of that data. Okay, so I hope that was clear. Let me do full screen again. Okay, so that's it. So that's where the receiving EMR will now be able to receive the JSON file, and then from that particular side, it's the EMR responsibility now to notify the hospital, the doctor, so that the doctor will be able uh to respond on that particular referral request. That's it. So I will now move my floor to Pavel for him to talk.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? See me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Okay, amazing. Let me share my screen. And can you please confirm when you see it?
Yes.
Yeah, so again, hi everyone, and thank you for having me. So first I will introduce myself a little bit. So my name is Pavel Smirnov. I am Chief Executive Officer with Health Samurai. We are a provider of FHIR server called Aidbox, but company has a longer history, which perhaps explain how we got there, and also like maybe explain a little bit more about myself. So Health Samurai had essentially two lives. In the first life, we have built electronic health record systems for US hospitals. And it was quite successful project. We built nice web-based, cloud-based EHR system, which we implemented in 3 hospitals in California. I myself spent several years on hospital floors, from emergency room to med-surg, ICU, geropsych. So I have seen quite a lot of healthcare, not just healthcare IT. Since 2012, we saw, I would say, big opportunity on the market in the FHIR standard, and we joined the FHIR community. We started actively contributing to the FHIR specification. We built quite a bit of open source solutions for FHIR. Many folks maybe have, like, from the FHIR world at least, heard about like Firebase. We built like the first database for FHIR based on Postgres, which was open source. And in 2015, we released the first commercially available FHIR server to the market, which is called Aidbox. And since that time, we like solely focused on Aidbox. We right now have more than 100 customers in production. Company has grown. We have more than 70 engineers. Yeah. One thing which made our perspective on FHIR and FHIR servers different than majority, I would say, of our competitors is that we initially have been EHR developers, and we considered FHIR specification from the very beginning not just a specification for exchanging healthcare data, but we saw that FHIR can give us a specification for building new, powerful, modern, interoperable healthcare solutions. So that's, I guess, really changed our perspective and also like the product which we build. And I'll try to explain how it is different. And yeah. So one thing which we really like in Health Samurai is since we build in a platform, we always say that the best illustration of success of the platform is actually success of the customers of the platform, like what solution you can build on top of the platform. And we love to speak about users of our platform. So I'll talk about like 3 use cases, 3 customers which use Aidbox. First one we chosen for this presentation is a company called Patients Know Best. It is the UK company. They built patient health record, PHR, patient portal technology, and they utilized our FHIR server or FHIR backend, how we also call it, called Aidbox as their backend. And what Aidbox allows them is to build actually a very highly scalable system. It has more than 10 terabytes of data, very fast. It's been built by a very small team, less than 10 engineers in less than a year. It allows them to get data from multiple hospitals in the NHS and create a golden record, 360 view for every patient. They also created communication between patient and physicians using Aidbox forms, Aidbox form builder, which is implementation of FHIR SDC, structured data capture specification. And patients reported that a majority of them, like 98%, have improved relationship with their clinicians. So this is customer number 1. Customer number 2, so talking about our work with governments, government agencies, we have a customer which is Washington State Department of Health in the United States. It's a relatively recent customer. They have just implemented a couple of use cases using FHIR. The first use case was about death reporting. They have a huge FHIR roadmap, but we're very proud about this customer. They had very comprehensive evaluation of all the FHIR servers and ended up choosing Aidbox. And Washington State Department of Health, like it's a state department, but it's like I would say one of the leaders, which often what they built is considered like a blueprint by other states and utilized by other states in the United States, led by very visible leaders such as Dr. Brian Karras and others. So it's a good example. Majority of our customers are actually based in the United States, but last like 2-3 years, we're getting more and more customers in Asia, in Europe, in Australia. So Health Samurai serves very international community. So yeah, another international customer, we are working with one of the largest hospitals in Canada called Sunnybrook. What Sunnybrook did, they aggregated data from multiple systems, not often like originally data was not in the FHIR format. They converted data for oncology into FHIR and store the data, aggregated the data to Aidbox. They utilized Aidbox analytics capabilities to integrate Aidbox with, in this case, Power BI, and build a lot of data insights using Power BI, and they built a cohort discovery tool on top of Aidbox. So that's the third customer. And again, yeah, very proud about what companies are doing, and again, it's a great illustration of capability of the platforms, what companies can do on top of Aidbox. So Sunnybrook used one of the flagship features of Aidbox, which is full implementation of emerging SQL and FHIR specification. This specification is one of parts of FHIR where Health Samurai contributed a lot. Our CTO Nikolai has been leading this work group which designed this specification. Essentially, this specification, as you have seen just a few minutes ago, FHIR data is usually represented by JSON objects, and many data scientists don't want to work with JSON data, and also JSON data is not always supported by analytics and visualization tools. So this SQL and FHIR specification provides a standard way to flatten FHIR data to relational structures. And then when you get relational structures like tables, regular tables, it's much easier to use by like data scientists, and of course like all the majority of analytics tools happy to work with this type of data. So that's one of, again, the flagship features of Aidbox. And so I want to talk about the difference of Aidbox with other FHIR servers and what makes Aidbox attractive, why you might want to consider Aidbox, let's say, versus free open source Happy FHIR server. So here are a few points. So first of all, Aidbox is fully metadata driven and highly configurable. We support all 5 versions and all FHIR implementation guides, and we made experience of engineers or users of FHIR servers I would say very comfortable, very for instance, we make very easy to load FHIR implementation guides or like configure Aidbox for any FHIR version. So if you need some FHIR IG, you can load usually with one click, choose a implementation guide from the registry, or upload just structure definition, and Aidbox will configure itself with all the extensions, search parameters, value set validation, with all the dependencies. It's all done automatically. The other point is performance. So we know, we try to bring really also besides healthcare IT expertise to the table, we try to bring good engineering practices. And we know that when someone chooses a solution that doesn't scale to desired data volumes, like numbers of patients, usually if the solution is successful, it grows, and you end up in front of a question like what to do next, because you cannot handle all the data volumes you have. So we're very proud. We claim that Aidbox provides the best performance among all the FHIR servers on the market. We can handle terabytes of FHIR data with good high load of requests within milliseconds. And we have very large installations to support this claim, where customers aggregate with tens and 20s terabytes of data. The other differentiator of Aidbox is we have very solid analytics and reporting capabilities, which I mentioned. We do have SQL API for all the data, and we do have full support of SQL and FHIR as well. Lots of organizations, companies right now build AI solutions, but I mean, even if you build AI, it doesn't mean that you don't need high quality of data. And actually, our customers, we have lots of customers which utilize modern LLM engines, build AI solutions, NLP solutions. They use Aidbox as a part of their data pipeline. They use it for sandboxing, to test edge cases of different LLMs on different biased data sets, edge data sets, and they design their own FHIR IGs to constrain the data, make sure that the quality of data is satisfactory for the requirements. So yeah, so this use case is very popular and fully supported by Aidbox. And yeah, there are lots of government regulations nowadays in different countries. I think it probably started in the United States, but nowadays you have customers which have to support government requirements in other countries like Germany, like Canada, and others. So Aidbox provides compliance with lots of interoperability regulations, can be again configured for local FHIR implementation guides to support these regulations. And it also comes with complementary module which allows users to set up application gallery and consent management for smartphone FHIR applications, so that, for instance, patients can use their own data and share it with the applications of their choice. And the last I want to say that Aidbox licensing model is also, we hope, quite attractive. We do provide absolutely free development licenses that can be used by anyone forever. There are only a couple of limitations for development licenses. They're limited with size. You cannot load too much data, like you can only load like 5 gigabytes of data for like at no cost into Aidbox. And we do not allow like real healthcare data, but if you develop something and you work with synthetic data, you have all functionality and you don't have to pay money until you go to production. We also have quite affordable licenses for production, which license cost doesn't grow with how much data you load, so it's a flat fee. And we offer regional discounts based on the country, like GDP. So this is it from me. I would love to answer your questions about Aidbox, and yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, so just thank you, Pavel, for that. So some key takeaways. Um, so number one is RTS is built for HCPN and PCPN. And then there's currently 49 HCPNs, although I saw in the chat it's already updated. Thank you, Doc Eloy. So the budget, we have a total budget of more than 400 million pesos. It can be used under the Special Health Fund Capital Investment. And EMR is not the same as RTS, so computer is not equal to a router. SeeYouDoc and Health Samurai already has a product ready for RTS, and then EMR will need to adapt to the API of RTS and the protocol of FHIR resource. So if you guys are interested, you can just email me, and then we can talk and discuss it further. But I would like to also acknowledge the contributions of number one, Doc Alvin Marcelo of UP SILab for helping us in coming up all of this information. Doc Jaime Punsulan from Zamboanga City Medical Center, JL Dalisay from South Cotabato, Umer from CSIRO, and Aliyah Evangelista from DOH. Thank you. And thank you for listening, and we're happy to answer any questions.
All right. Thank you so much for that very informative session, Sir Noel and Sir Pavel. So now, just a quick time check. We've gone a little over our scheduled time, but I'd like to invite the participants to share their thoughts and ask their questions. Again, you have three options. You can either use the raise hand function. You may type in your questions in the chat box, or you can use the Q&A button if you want to ask anonymously. Yeah. So do we have any questions from the group for our dear speakers? So while waiting now for the questions, I would just like to ask, I just like to read the question asked in the chat box. So does Lean Fire have docs of their own JSON structure recommended? As Sir Thomas Nicola Reyes of UPM SILab said, it's nicely readable too before restructuring to Fire. And maybe Sir Noel, you can add something to what you replied po?
Yeah, I
Just
mean,
so our audience can ano din.
thank you for the question. So I already made a reply, but just to expand it further,
Yes.
so we can already use the same raw JSON file that I've shared as one of sample input that we can pass to Leon Fire. All it's very simple to follow. All of the important information are there. One critical thing that we have to maybe decide as a community, for example, is because PhilHealth ID number is required under the NHDR fire guidelines. So as an EMR system, you should be ready in getting that information in your end so that you can pass it to the RTS. I'm not sure if we are going to include identity information like from the national ID system, but that's something the community can decide on its own. But I just want to share that information that using the raw JSON file, you can already structure your own EMR in terms of that. But again, this is just this is just a demo of what we do, but we can discuss it further in a private meeting and how you can try it out. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you for that, Sir Noel. So we have a question here from Dr. Alvin Marcelo. So which HCPN could we visit to see the referral tracking systems in action po?
Depending on who would like to try it out first. Who has the budget? But I think again, me and Pavel, we have our we can try it out for free definitely. Because Pavel already have their own free developer license. We also provide our own free licenses. So for all the HCPNs here that would like to try out our products, then let's collaborate. Let's do this, and then yeah, as mentioned by Doc Eloy, there's a special help fund, so we can help you on the community can help you in terms of acquiring these technologies.
Okay, great. And our friend Sir Umer from Australia would just like to extend his thanks to Sir Noel and Pavel for the great presentation. So very exciting and looking forward to more collaborations in the future. Okay, so I think we can still um cater questions from the group. So are there any questions from the group to our speakers? For our speakers rather? Or maybe Sir Noel, you would want to share by you mentioned that about the JSON file, or was it enough already that you demoed the get the
Yeah,
polls?
siguro I'll just do a quick demo lang on how we were able to implement the NHDR fire guidelines in the Aidbox. Um, can you see the screen? So in Aidbox, the good thing about Aidbox is it has a capability um to include our fire packages. In the fire packages, we just import fire here package here and then specify NHDR. So this is the implementation guide of NHDR. Although it's still not complete yet because when we look into this NHDR fire guidelines, these are the profiles, the PH encounter, PH practitioner roles, the operations, the extensions, search parameters, value sets. So as you can see here, it's still on example.org fire. Maybe Doc Alvin, maybe you can tell us what's your plan in terms of completing the NHDR fire guidelines.
Yeah, thank you, Noel. So the guidelines are about to be finished. We're getting support from CSIRO to help the Department of Health and PhilHealth finalize that. There are drafts right now that are available on the nhdr.gov.ph website. So, but those are not final. You can just like go there, nhdr.gov.ph, and see what are the contexts and what are the some resources. But don't build anything production with what's there right now. I think it's going to evolve. Having said that, please join the community of practice because I think that once the NHDR guidelines are available, the implementation guide, the next step is to enable the community, which are the people in this call, to understand and to be able to implement the standard. So please join the community of practice so that we can participate and learn together. Thank you, Noel.
Thank you, Doc Eloy. Um, yeah, and then but the good thing here is once that is done, the Aidbox is already capable of importing them. Um, so in this example, so the good thing about the Leon Fire, we also configure that following the NHDR fire guidelines. So this fire resource data is actually based on the fire guidelines already. That's why there's page service request. Um, there's this thing. So all of these things is going to be easier now for other EMR systems to integrate with the fire server. So I just want to add that part because I haven't demoed how we implemented the NHDR fire guidelines in the Aidbox. Thank you.
Thank you, Sir Noel. So are there any other questions from the group? Wala na? None? Going once? Going twice? Okay, that's it. Thank you all so much for the fantastic insights. Thank you also for the input. Okay, so now I'm inviting everyone to please turn on your camera. Let's have a quick photo. 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, that's it. So thank you all for joining us today. Remember, the conversation doesn't have to end here. So in case you have questions, feel free to reach our speakers or you may email SeeLab at seelab.upm@up.edu.ph. And so for a list of topics for May, please stay tuned as well. We will be posting our announcements on our social media pages. So be sure to follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, X, and even YouTube to watch our full recording and highlights video. And now to receive your electronic certificates of participation and of course for us to improve our next sessions, kindly answer the evaluation form flashed on your screen on or before 1 p.m. today. So again, that brings us to the end of today's session of IOL 201 Community Connect. Again, thank you our dear speakers. We're always enthusiastic and fresh perspectives and exciting stories to share with our community members. So if you have um, So if you have a project or platform that inspires you and you would like to share it with our fellow members, please feel free to email us. All right. Once again, thank you all for actively participating. Let's continue to connect, collaborate, and learn together. This is Gabby Velasquez. Magandang gabi sa lahat. Hasta magandang umaga. So see you in our next sessions. Bye. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Gabby. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Gabby. Bye.